I never thought I would be the type of person to tell a love story. For most of my life, I honestly believed that romance belonged in movies, not in my daily routine filled with work emails, grocery lists, and the occasional Friday night glass of wine with friends. But here I am, sitting with a smile on my face, telling you about how I met the man who completely changed my life. In the most ordinary, unexpected place you could imagine. At that time, my life felt like one long loop. Wake up, rush through breakfast, grab my laptop bag, and head to the same little coffee shop around the corner from my apartment before going to work. It wasn't even fancy, just a small cafe with mismatched chairs, a chalkboard menu, and a barista who always spelled my name wrong. But it was my comfort zone. I'd sit there with my cappuccino, scrolling through emails, pretending that maybe today something new would happen. And one morning it did. I was standing in line, half awake, scrolling through my phone, when the guy in front of me turned around and smiled. Not just a polite smile, more like he had caught me doing something funny, even though I was literally just yawning into my scarf. He said, "Sorry, I think I might have just ordered your drink by accident." I looked at him, confused, until the barista yelled out, "Cappuccino with oat milk," which was exactly my usual. He laughed, a little embarrassed, and admitted that he had copied my order because he overheard me asking for it once before. I remember rolling my eyes playfully and saying something like, "Well, I guess I should charge you a royalty for stealing my coffee choice." He grinned, and in that small moment, something shifted. It wasn't love at first sight, but it was curiosity. The next few weeks turned into this strange game of coincidence. Somehow, we kept running into each other in that coffee shop. Sometimes he was already there, typing furiously on his laptop. Other times he'd walk in just as I was packing up to leave. Each time, the conversations grew a little longer, from small jokes about bad Wi-Fi to complaining about early Monday mornings. What surprised me was how easy it felt. With most people, I'm careful, I measure my words, but with him, I could just talk. He listened, really listened, and remembered little details, like the fact that I hated raisins or that I always forgot my umbrella. He wasn't trying too hard, and maybe that's why it worked. One rainy afternoon, I found myself secretly hoping he would show up. I was sitting by the window, watching people rush by with umbrellas, when suddenly he walked in, completely soaked, because apparently he didn't believe in umbrellas either. He sat down next to me with his dripping hair, laughing at his own mess, and for some reason, I felt this weird warmth in my chest. That was the first moment I thought, "Oh no, I might actually like this guy." Eventually, he asked me out. Not in some grand romantic gesture. He literally said, "Hey, maybe we could talk somewhere that doesn't smell like coffee beans all the time." I laughed so hard I almost spilled my drink, but I said yes. Our first date was awkward in the best possible way. We went to this tiny taco place where the tables were so close together you could hear other people's conversations. He got salsa all over his shirt, and instead of being embarrassed, he just shrugged and said, "Guess this shirt has character now." I liked that about him. He didn't pretend to be perfect. Over time, little by little, he became part of my life. We'd take evening walks around the neighborhood, talking about everything and nothing at all. Sometimes we'd just sit on a park bench, sharing French fries and laughing at random dog walkers. He made ordinary things feel special. But I'll be honest with you, I was scared. I had been in relationships before that ended badly. I had built walls around myself, telling everyone that I was fine on my own. And most days, I believed it. But then he came along with his easy smile and his ability to notice when I was pretending to be okay, and suddenly those walls didn't feel so strong anymore. One evening, after a particularly stressful day at work, I found him waiting outside my apartment. He didn't bring flowers or gifts. He just hugged me. A long, quiet hug that made me feel like I could finally exhale. And that's when I knew. This wasn't just a crush. This was different. We had our funny moments too, Like the time we tried to cook dinner together and almost set off the fire alarm because he thought too much olive oil was a flavour. Or the night we got caught in the rain again, shared one tiny umbrella, and ended up laughing so hard that strangers on the street looked at us like we were crazy. Those were the moments that glued us together. The truth is, falling in love with him didn't feel like falling. It felt like landing, like coming home after a long day and realizing you're exactly where you're supposed to be. One night, while we were walking back from the coffee shop, yes, our coffee shop, I told him that. I said, "You feel like home." He stopped, looked at me, and said, "That's good, because I don't plan on going anywhere." And just like that, I knew. Now, when I think about love, I don't think about dramatic gestures or fancy vacations. I think about mismatched coffee cups, soggy shoes from walking in the rain, and salsa stains on a shirt that really did get too much character. So if you're listening to this and wondering if love will ever find you, here's my advice. Don't go looking for a fairy tale. Love might just be sitting at the table next to you, drinking the exact same cappuccino, waiting for the courage to say hello. Because for me, the happiest chapter of my life began in the most ordinary place. A tiny coffee shop on a completely ordinary morning. And somehow that ordinary moment turned into the most extraordinary story of all.